talking to him about something. I think it had to do with seeking for help and all of that. So maybe Naira reached out to him and all that. But in the comments and with what so many other people are saying, they're trying to say that, okay, maybe Naira Marley actually used AI or something to come about.
They speak you running.
I tell you, to come about the audio, and they are trying to link it with what happened with Mohbad as well, because there was a time during the Mohbad situation, there was an audio too that was making rounds on social media at that time, and people were like, "Oh, that's not Mohbad's voice," and all of those things. But this sounded like Lil Smart, as far as I am concerned, and so I don't know.
But Lil Smart has reacted now. He reacted by saying that.
But some people say it's audio edited.
When we get dates and time.
Yes. That for a Naira Marley who does fraud, that was what Lil Smart said, who is into fraud and everything can change something.
But for him, whose voice was in the audio, I think he's in a better position to say when that particular audio was out. I mean, with what was being said in the audio, you can remember.
Yeah.
I think that you'll be able to remember how recent or how, farther back
it has been.
That was recorded. So I think he should have said something along those lines that, come on, this was a conversation that we had in 2015.
And it was because of this, but because of that.
So he didn't say anything like that. He just said, I mean, for someone who does fraud, how they never figure audio.
Or why won't he be able to change dates? Or, that
so just say that this conversation was about when I was still on the label and he was asking me this. You didn't say anything like that. So you just further complicated.
But do you think they're taking us for a ride? What if it's all organized? Is it possible that it's all a publicity stunt? I would think it's in bad taste, because this is similar. Some of the things alleged are similar to what happened in the Naira Marley case. So why would you think to go that exact line if you're trying to get people's attention for maybe a project you're pushing? But seeing all these revelations, everybody is just saying their own left, right, and center. Could it be that this is just what it is, cruise, or what it seems like?
Anything is possible when it comes to publicity for artists or people in the world of music. I was hearing over the weekend, someone just gave a very calculated explanation as to how the whole Casey and Flavor issue may have been a publicity stunt.
Really?
Yes. And
because he just died like that.
And the person was coming up with very, very important points in the conversation as to why Igbo guys in the industry are a lot very united, and how there will never be an altercation over someone copying a song, and Flavor, who Flavor is making a noise about it. Flavor is not known to be very vocal about stuff, let alone a fellow Igbo brother. The conversation actually made sense to a large extent. And if you look at the people who came out, who were in that video by Casey, it further validates this argument by the person, because almost everybody in that video by Casey are friends of Flavor. They have at one time or the other been in Flavor's videos
as well.
The Cubanas of this world, the Michael Zeroyes, so
we never know, right?
But artists are very creative when it comes to trying to push out a record, and the underground work that they do to spark up conversations, just push energy to that record.
Oh, this one is crazy TV to you.
It is, and I think it's annoying. So on the one hand, you're trying to determine whether this is worth your emotion or your time. And then on the other hand, you don't want to be kidnapping in case it turns out to be a cry for help, like in Mohbad's case. And then when it now eventually happens, you'll be like, we should have acted, that kind of thing.
And he asked for help.
But in this case where there's been allegations of assault, I don't want to toe the line of publicity stunt. That would be too extreme, to say that that's publicity stunt, and we close our eyes to it. He claims that he was beating Blue Black.
Yes, I mean, we have the show, even the videos as well.
A good Samaritan helped him out of where he was. So I would downplay publicity stunt for that particular instance.
But did you see the one with, what's that other guy?
Zinoliski?
No, the other guy.
Lil Smart?
No, this other, he used to roll with them, Sydney Tucker them.
Kata Efe.
Yes.
Yes, that said Lil Smart is texting his babe.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
And he said he's going to arrest him. He said he's going to arrest him.
Yeah.
So I saw that and I'm like, this guy is basically saying his life is in danger. And then
And
you are coming
with this.
like,
No. You should blame the guy who you are saying you're in danger and you should be sober and wait for some help, sort of. You are texting someone's babe
we don't
all
know.
at the same time.
Did it happen in the same? That
Maybe
thing
it was
not
before.
No, it's happened. Did it happen before?
I think
he
it's like
didn't say
before.
when it happened. It just seemed like it's something he remembered because
and
the
then
guy is trending now.
He used the
opportunity to come on social media to address it. He didn't say it was recent.
But
There was no mention.
I think it could go
of
either
when
way. It could be
was-
recent. It could be recent, and it could be something
before.
he just remembered, out of the blues, and just
I
wanted
think if
to.
it was
about it.
recent, he could have said it because he was saying that the guy was cloud chasing. He mentioned that the guy was a cloud chaser. He was just trying to get attention. So I think if he had just done it, he'd be like, how can this happen when I don't know. It was vague. It wasn't clear
true.
whether
It wasn't
was
clear, actually.
But I felt like no sympathy at all. This guy is just out here saying people are trying to kill him. And all you can think of is the fact that he texted your wife at some point,
woman alone.
like, by the way, you can't arrest the person because they send
Because
a
of
message
that.
to you. Nah, it doesn't happen like that,
threats.
Abeg.
Threats.
Everything.
Okay, this one is about a medical engineer who has defended his wife amidst backlash over her weight gain. So I'm going to put up the pictures on Facebook so that we can see. So this particular guy on X put out a family picture of himself, his wife, and the kids. And then he attached pictures from way back, from like, I think 6 or 8 years ago.
Okay.
He added the pictures and people started insulting the woman because she has added weight.
Added a lot of
She
weight.
added lots of weight, So it was this Dr. Penking. I know you dropped a comment on one of his posts recently. And he now responded to that. He dropped a comment on that post saying, why did he marry his girlfriend's mother? So that's where the conversation, started coming up from. And then he came out, the guy responded to him saying that he's proud of his wife. They have 3 kids. She's beautiful like that. That if he has more money, he plans to spoil her and all of that. And people actually are on the side of this particular, the husband. Like, they are proud of him. Like, he was able to do that because some men would rather not say anything and then maybe be dragging the wife.
Yes. Denigrate the wife for looking like their mother instead of their wife. Do we have the picture so the people can go on Facebook?
Yes, we have the pictures. Yes, so put it up on Facebook.
Splash FM 1055 live. You would see the before. I mean, she looked very slim, very, portable. And then after 3 kids, is it 3 kids or 4 kids? Because there were 4 people in that, but the other one couldn't have been their child. You looked too advanced to be, but
I don't think it's new. In this part of the world, women look like that after getting married. It's not new to us. A lot
but
of women,
social media people now and being sanctimonious.
and I do not even think that a lot of men have issues with that. There are a lot of men. I mean, she's not looking fat.
She looks fat.
No, a lot of Igbo women look like this
she
when
looks
they
fat.
settle down. So
Compared
it's not
to the way that she looks.
it's
You
not
said she's not looking
This
fat.
is not our definition of fat in this part of the world.
What is the
This is
definition
not
of fat?
our definition of fat in this part of the world. A lot of our mothers looked like this when growing up,
And they
while
are
growing
fat
up,
now.
and we didn't refer to them as fat. That is not fat.
So what is fat?
That's not the issue here. But the thing
This is
is,
fat.
my point is,
Especially when you compare it to the way she was.
my point is, a lot of women in this part of the world, after marriage, in family life, look like this.
That's
lot
not
of
what is
them.
being disputed.
I'm saying this because there is no point for the whole social media drama. The people on social media are just being artificial and unreasonable. A lot of people who have married, if you look at a lot of Nigerian women when they were single and after giving birth, this is how they transition into. We see this every day on our streets, every day in our families and homes. So I feel that the people on social media are just making noise. It's normal. You could say that the woman here should probably do something a bit about, for her health's sake, but it is not the first time we're seeing women look like this in their wrapper and everything. So I didn't feel some type of way when I saw that picture. I did not. Yes. So I feel that how the guy handled it is his family. If he chooses and feels that probably she should exercise a bit, maybe, but he owned it nicely. And that's a good thing,
He seems to even suggest that she might have a medical condition that's not allowing her lose the weight.
Yes.
Because at one point he was like, he would rather have his wife fat and alive than trying to lose weight and die.
Mm-hmm.
So it would point out that maybe the wife is herself worried about it.
That's just a cynical way to put it.
I like you like that. You're my wife. So I love the way he reacted to it. I've seen some stories, especially on Joro's page, where men come up and complain about the size of their wives. Oftentimes you hear them say, when I married my wife, she was a size 8 or size 10. Now she's a size 16. I don't know how to. I don't feel sexually attracted to her anymore. Blah, blah, blah. So, which is why, for me, it was very, very refreshing to see this man defending his wife in the way that he did when the brotherhood perhaps were expecting him. Because somebody even said the sisterhood is not proud of in the comments, like sisterhood is not proud of the woman for the way that she lost herself.
Yeah, because some people were saying that because you gave birth does not mean you should not try to maintain your former looks or something.
How do they know that she has not tried? That's the conclusive nature of social media, where people just come there are people who argue that he put out the picture. So if you put out the picture, you would expect reaction.
Yeah.
And you may not like all the type of reactions that you will get from putting it out there. But you didn't just see a person, maybe because they post a picture or post a video, and assume that you know everything that's going on in their life. How can you tell that the person has not tried? Some people are just not lucky to shed that weight after childbirth. And they have to just make their peace with it and move on with their life.
Right.
But this is the husband of the year, totally. I'm sure she'll be brimming with joy reading her husband's comments in her defense on social media.
It's a huge reassurance for her.
I'm telling you, there's nothing that makes a woman more confident, especially in marriage, I think, than when you hear your man tell you how beautiful he thinks you are, even when you don't think that you're that beautiful yourself.
This is like I've got you.
They can say what they like. We're in this together kind of thing.
I got you. All right, moving on. This one is from a Nigerian woman who has called out some ladies who are contacting her husband on that guise of patronizing her business. So she's a Nigerian vendor, and she said, I, Abdurrahman Azizat Ozohu, own and manage my business and not my husband. I will not have you chatting or calling my husband in the name of patronage. If you can't access me, please let go of the business. Stop sending my husband to me. I don't appreciate that. If you want him to have a taste of you, tell him directly and stop using I want to patronize your wife as cover-up.
So are these people that knew her husband before? Because how did they get the husband's number? Is this a sub to maybe some of her friends or her acquaintances?
Maybe some people in particular.
Yes.
I think that's a subliminal information
to people who know her.
Yeah, to people who know her, or to people who are friends of the family, or to people who she has seen or sensed that maybe having stuff
for her husband.
They have a crush, on the husband.
Well, it's good though that she puts it out, but I would have preferred if it was the husband that put it out.
I know the wife herself.
Yes, because he's the one that's getting all the help me, I want to patronize the wife. Kind of like, oh, this is my wife's number. Call her directly, that kind of thing.
I'll be sending a link to her page or website or something.
Yeah, you don't have to go through me.
Are you texting my man?
But I think that the people that she's talking to are people that are her friends or people posing as her friends.
I think so.
People she knows.
Not complete strangers, maybe. Like people she knows. But why? She should just go ahead and tell them directly. Why
maybe
are
she
you
has
going in circles? Just tell them, please, I do not like the fact that you're
reaching out to my husband.
You're reaching out to my husband. My number is always on.
I've noticed that sometimes when people have issues with other people or even with you, they lack the, I don't know whether it's because they're trying to keep the peace.
Maybe it's because they're trying to keep the peace.
In instances where I would have preferred that you just, talk to the person. If a person has offended you or done something that you don't like, just tell them. You find that people would rather talk to somebody else or go to WhatsApp and put a cryptic message.
They do that. Maybe they do that because they're still unsure as to if those were the intentions of the person. So if they carry them for mind, I am passing the message. Like how you're always calling me instead of getting directly to Chacha. You feel like Chacha, they always phone busy. You're Chacha's friend. But if you call me directly, I would pass the message or get it done.
So that means all three of us are friends.
I'm your husband.
Oh, okay.
Kate is your friend or acquaintance or something or business partner. And the few times Kate has reached you, we might be in the same house and probably Kate has, because I've witnessed this happen a lot of times. So Kate is calling you to price that bag. You're not peeking because you dumped your phone somewhere.
Okay.
You're cooking, you're doing stuff. Kate immediately gets across to me and says, Baba, Abeg, help me tell Madam, that pink bag, I see them for IG. I won't buy them. I've told you. You're sending a message to Kate. Kate realizes over time that it works. Going through me. You don't know where you always keep phone. You understand? You reply maybe 30 minutes after. But when you reach me, Ken gets it done. So quick, I've told you about the bag. Quick, you forwarded account number. Kate has purchased the bag. Over time, Kate realizes that
this is way easier.
Abeg, let me just call Ken. Abeg, he will get it done. Kate is a fine woman, endowed woman. Kate has the kind of body that I like. And then over time, you start feeling some type of way. You forget that it's about the swiftness of how Kate reaches me to get to you. So over time, you start wondering, your mind starts going wild as to, are you sure that it's just bag that is making Kate reach Ken? So because you are still unsure and you don't want to lose the customer, you put out words like that so that if there is a corner of Kate's mind that she's harboring such intentions, she gets the message quickly and says, truly I felt like this with this guy. So I think that's why some people, instead of just coming to Kate and maybe suddenly losing Kate and finding out that Kate didn't even have any intentions. It was because she could always reach me fast.
Easily.
So that happens.
But it's not better you just ask, babe, why is it that you're always calling my husband when you need something? Why? I'm the one that is selling the market. Why can't you? I mean,
you're not picking your call. You're not picking your call.
Embarrassed. You may be embarrassed at the end of the day for even insinuating that.
No, I'm not insinuating. The question is, why are you always calling my husband when you want to buy something, when you can call me?
Your league of friends go begin look you one kind.
Say
waiting be this one with this one they talk. And you will feel embarrassed at the end of the day for even blotting it out.
I don't think I would.
Okay.
I don't think I would. I think that I will feel more confident hearing that answer from you. It's not an accusation.
Kate might change her dealings with you. Kate might change her.
That's up to her. But
you may not be happy.
I'm trying to clarify.
No, you may not be
an
happy.
accusation. I come up to Kate and I say, Kate, why are you always calling my husband when you want to buy things instead of calling me? And then she says, you don't know. Anytime I'm unable to reach you.
Now.
And don't worry, just leave me a message whenever I see it.
It depends on the temperament of Kate.
Yes.
If Kate feels like, what are you saying? She might change after that whole conversation.
That's a possibility.
And you may not like it.
That's a possibility, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. As against going and putting a cryptic message and saying, all you people patronizing
you know what the cryptic message achieves? You know what the cryptic message achieves? A lot of people that you don't even know that are harboring that idea will get their memo. You've not even seen them before. They are eyeing your husband already. They are getting the message and they are staying back. So you've used one stone to kill around 50 birds.
People who want to chase after your husband will chase after your husband, whether you put out a cryptic message or not. It is not that message that will keep them from going after your husband.
Okay. All right then. Let's go pay some bills. We'll be right back after this break.